Sacred Stones, the prologue, and this campaign is about 10 seconds old. 2 units in blue up in the hills, 3 in red below them, and a map overview still lying across the middle of the board. Start and the overview folds away. Claude Opus 5 has the controller, and this is the first board Claude has ever seen. Mountains, a river, 1 bridge. Nobody is getting anywhere on this map quickly. The banner says defeat boss, and Claude's first move of this campaign is not a move at all. The cursor goes to bare ground, away from anybody who could be given an order. Opus 5 has gone looking for a menu. And there it is. Unit, status, guide, options, suspend, end. Guide is lit up green because the prologue still has a tutorial it would like to give. Straight past it to options. Claude has not looked at a single unit yet. The first thing Opus 5 wants out of this game is the settings screen. Configuration. Animation, game speed, text speed, and the pointer is sitting on the top row, which is animation. And Claude goes past it, down 1 to game speed. Game speed was on norm? Right, and it is fast. That is how quickly a unit walks across a tile, and it is the difference between a chapter that crawls and a chapter that moves. Text speed the same way, all the way to max. Every line in this game now prints as fast as the game can draw it. Out of the settings, out of the menu, and back to a board that has not moved since the game began. 2 settings changed, and 1 Claude stepped straight past. The top row is animation, and it is still on. So every fight from here cuts away to a full-screen duel, 2 sprites and a health bar, and Claude will watch all of it. The one setting that costs real time is the one still switched on. L, and the cursor jumps to somebody who still has a move. 2.5 minutes in, and this is the first unit Opus 5 has touched. That is Seth, paladin, sword and lance, and the single strongest thing either side has on this map. He is also on 13 health of 30, and nothing in this chapter did that to him. He started the prologue already hurt. 1 press, and the map tints. Blue is where Seth can stand. Seth is mounted, and on open ground, a horse is worth a great deal. This is not open ground. 17 squares of blue, and the mountains have shaped almost all of them into 1 lane running east along the valley. Confirmed, and he rides. 4 squares east, and he stops on the square directly above the nearer of the 2. Attack, item, wait. Claude takes attack. The first real decision of this campaign. A steel sword or a silver lance. The lance is the better weapon by every number on it, and against a man holding an axe, it is the wrong one. Sword it is, and the forecast settles it. 18 damage twice at 100%, 22 health on the other side, and 1 point coming back at 1 in 4. And the screen cuts away exactly as promised. Seth on his horse, the soldier with the axe across from him, and a duel that would have been over in a second on the map. $22 down to 4 and then gone. First kill of the campaign, and Claude called it before pressing. 2 hits, kill, and the worst answer back is a single point. Seth is still on 13. Now Erica. 16 of 16, untouched. And the reason all of this matters, she is the Lord. And if she falls, the chapter is over regardless of who else is standing. While Claude thinks, A like on this helps it reach people who would enjoy it too. Right, back to the valley. Longest pause of the run so far. Eureka is held, the blue is on the board, and nothing has moved for the better part of half a minute. Two squares east, and she stops. Her range reached the surviving soldier, and Claude turned it down. She would not have killed him, and the Lord trading blows with an axe to no purpose is how a chapter gets lost. Item, or wait, no attack. Nothing is in reach from there, which was the point. Both units have moved, so the board goes over to the other side. Enemy phase, and there is nothing Claude can do about any of it. The surviving soldier walks up the ledge, swings at Seth, and dies on the counter. That is one enemy off the board for no move and no damage, and Claude did not press a button for it. New player phase, and the prologue is down to one enemy, the boss alone on the grass at the bottom of the slope. Seth again, still 13 of 30, still the answer to everything on this map. And the blue has changed shape. It spills down the slope now, a short staircase of squares ending on the grass directly above the boss. Confirmed, and Seth walks down the slope to stand over him. Something just changed that the board cannot show. The Claude that has played every press so far is finished, and a new one is reading this screen cold. Claude does not know who this is. A paladin who has carried the entire prologue, and to a Claude that has just arrived, he is a man on a horse. What the new one has is a note the last one left, and one picture of a screen. And the note is enough. One turn on, the rider has a name again, and it is Seth. And this one has a name too. O'Neill, 23 health, an iron axe, and an 11% chance of putting a single point on Seth. The forecast is not a question. 21 off the top, and the prologue's boss is on 2 health. Claude waits it out rather than pressing into an animation, which is the right instinct and is costing better than half a minute a fight. And that is the prologue. O'Neill goes down, and the chapter closes over the top of it. Prologue done, 8.5 minutes in. Nobody on Claude's side took a single point of damage, and Seth finishes on exactly the 13 health he started with. And the game asks to be saved. Top slot, the only one with anything in it. Save, and the prologue is written down. Whatever happens from here, that much is kept. Black screen, and Claude sits still rather than pressing into something nobody can see. Chapter 1, Escape. And the whole terrain has changed. Green countryside, forts and houses, water down the eastern side, and a castle in the far northwest corner. The banner has changed too. Not defeat boss anymore. Seas Gate. The camera settles, and Claude gets a first proper look at a board nobody has seen before. and the geometry of this one is brutal. Erica and Seth are in the bottom right corner of the map. The gate is in the top left. 7 enemies are spread across everything in between. And the gate is not empty. There is a man in heavy red armor standing in the castle doorway, with 2 more below him. Whatever else this chapter is, it finishes with somebody moving him, which is almost convenient. Erica starts this game holding a rapier, and a rapier is built for exactly that, armor and horses. 50 seconds Claude has been sitting on this one screen. There is a lot on it to work out and only the picture to work it out from. And the answer is 2 squares, northwest and stop. Eureka starts the long walk, and Claude has kept her deliberately short of anything that could reach her when the board turns over. Item or wait again. She is in nobody's way and nobody is in hers. Two squares down, the gate is 9 columns west of her and 6 rows north. Eureka has a long walk. Eureka grays out, which is how this game says a unit is finished for the turn, and the cursor goes hunting for the one who is not, which on this board is a very short search because Claude has exactly 2 units and one of them has just sat down. Seth is back to 30 of 30. He left the prologue on 13. A new chapter puts everybody back to full. Six presses in one go, and Claude does not see the screen again until the last of them has landed. Every press after the first is decided off a picture that has already changed. And the arrow lands exactly where Claude called it, the empty tile east of the lone bandit in the middle of the field. Attack off the top of the menu, and Seth is standing over him. Same shape as the prologue, on a different board. Steel sword again, and for the same reason as last time. 22 attack, hit above 100 against an axe. .30 health against 21, twice at perfect accuracy, 1 point back at 29%. Claude has done this arithmetic 3 times now, and it has not been wrong yet. Another cutaway, another full screen duel, and another half minute where nothing can be pressed. And the chapter stops for a conversation. 2 new faces at the bottom of the screen, Franz and Sir Gilliam, and a question about whether they have reached Frelia's border yet. And none of it reaches Claude. A princess is named, a kingdom is named, 2 units join, and what comes out the other side is that some blue riders have turned up near the northern castle. Franz and Gilliam are standing 4 squares from 3 bandits, and neither of them has been given an order. Ao Nirka to see whether she still has a move. And that was the last thing that Claude will ever do. Second one gone mid-chapter with a unit picked up and a plan half executed. A third quad arrives and does exactly what the second one did. Reads the note, reads the preachin', reads the picture from the turn before, and starts working out what this chapter is. Everything the last 2 Claudes worked out about this map and about Seth, and about which weapon beats which, exists in one text file that they wrote for whoever came next. That is the whole inheritance. Meanwhile, the board has not moved for a minute and a half. Eureka is held, the blue is still lit, and the bandits by the castle have nothing to do until somebody walks into them. Which is the strange arithmetic of this whole thing. The chapter is continuous, the player is not. "90 seconds between one press and the next, and most of it goes on somebody new finding out where they are. And here comes the answer. 3 squares left, 1 up, and it is the same plan the last one had. Northwest, toward the gate. Confirmed. That square sits on the western edge of everything Eureka can reach this turn, and it still leaves 2 clear tiles between her and the nearest bandit. Wait, again. 3 moves into this chapter and Eureka has not drawn her sword once. Third move of the chapter, and Eureka has not been within 2 squares of an enemy once. Claude is playing her like the piece that ends the chapter, which is exactly what she is. L again, and the cursor has to go a long way to find somebody who is not moved. Quiet stretch, so subscribe if you want to see where this ends up. The campaign carries on from wherever it stops, so the next one picks up right here. "53 seconds on this one, and the reason is on the screen. The cursor has jumped somewhere Claude has never been, and there is a unit under it Claude has never named. The whole north of this map is a place Claude has looked at and never touched. Franz. Cavalier, 20 of 20, sword and lance on a horse, and he has been standing there doing nothing since he arrived. Which means Claude has 4 units on the board now, and 2 of them are up north where the enemies are. Franz is picked up and the blue spreads south and east of him. There's 1 enemy inside it, a soldier 3 columns across and 2 rows down, out on open grass. 2 presses, move and take attack straight off the menu. Claude is not stopping to look at this one. Which is a real change. Every fight so far has been 1 press, 1 look, 1 press. This is the first time Claude has committed to a move and an attack off the same picture. "40 seconds on the weapon list, which for Claude is a long time to spend on 2 items. And here is the call. Franz has an iron sword and an iron lance. Claude reads the panel beside the enemy, sees a blade on it, and moves the hand down off the sword and onto the lance to take the weapon triangle. And then the forecast opens and prints the enemy's weapon in words. Soldier. Iron lance. Lance against lance is no triangle at all, and the iron sword Claude just moved off is the weapon that beats it. Claude reads the box, quotes the health and the hit rate back exactly, and confirms. 13 damage twice against 22 is a kill with either weapon, so the triangle was never going to decide this. White screen. The animation Claude never switched off one more time with 10 seconds left on the clock. The soldier goes down and Franz takes 5 back, 15 of 20, The note Claude just wrote says 20, written while the screen was still white. Map menu and guide is still lit green. Still offering to explain itself. Suspend. Turn 2 held where it stands.